put the prees in the chat, man. And one thing you gotta understand is that we want to send the condolences to young Dolph, because a lot of people out there know that they want to get the justice for him, and it's coming soon. Once they get the testimonies all written out together and they identify who Blac Youngsta's been hiding out with, they're gonna make sure that they're gonna do the due process, because it's in time. They only have the right to a speedy trial, and that's why they're moving quickly on the whole entire thing.
Somebody drop a song like, well, I don't stay young and I ain't gonna understand it. Y'all may understand. I wasn't feeling it. So when he called me, when Cuz called me, was like, man, Glock just told you.
Whether it's gonna be coming out of TBI, MPD, or they hit the Rico, you know that the three bureaus is coming together to speak with the DA to make sure that what Govan and Big Juk said was true, and that it's gonna follow through to the sentencing guidelines that they agreed on to. When they got that 90K bond, people didn't realize the amount of courage it takes to actually take somebody out. If you're not trained or experienced in doing nothing like that, then you know that you could hear others talking about how security does this and does that, but in the heat of the moment, the only person that's gonna really take care of business is the individual themselves that's actually in harm's way. It was 50 plus shots that happened, and the only person that got hit was young Dolph. So everybody knows that there's no way that something is right about that. From his friend in the cookie shop to the employees and everything like that, man. We want to bless his family and everybody to understand that we feel for young Dolph, and you can't really blame his bodyguard because that's his brother. And everybody's always talking about what you would have did in that situation, but no, you don't really know how you would have reacted in that moment because you've never been there. And it's until somebody actually gets caught up in that this is a thing. And man, I hate this happened to him. He was good to his community, and I feel like everybody should have had his back. Why was they letting this young man go around in the territory that his enemies is actually taking control of? I don't even live nowhere near Memphis, but we know that over here in Nashville that we rock with young Dolph.
And that's a major blow because we all know he said he's gonna carry out the plan instantly. Go on ahead and let them hit up Dolph while he watch. Y'all gotta understand, man. They gave him the keys to the back of Makita. This is why Blac Youngsta had them other dudes pull up just to protect them boys. Y'all already know them boys here straight dropping Cornelius Smith. They just released one of the other dudes, y'all. The dude with the dreads, that was the main one who Shondell Burnett told, you need to get out of town before they come get you. He didn't get out of the city. If he would have got out of the city, that would have never happened to him, man. Because in all actual reality, you can really pay attention to it and take it for what it is. If you sit back and you really pay attention to it, young Dolph told them the game. He had to learn it on his own. Yo Gotti didn't want to tell him the game. Yo Gotti wanted him to do all them songs and lead open verses. So Yo Gotti could basically sign young Dolph and promote the songs that him and young Dolph did, knowing that it's a hit the whole time. He don't want young Dolph really in the mix. Like at the end of the day, man, like we know this, man, and we know how the streets work. If you from the streets, man, throw them 222s in the comment section, man, because y'all gotta get heard too. If y'all from the streets, y'all gotta get heard. Like I know a lot of y'all want to speak y'all piece, man. We just gonna sit back and we just gonna watch it unfold because they let two people out. The two people who they let out, they just let one dude out today. And when I said they only let one person out, that's when they only let Govan out. They let one person out today. And dude, they literally dropping a whole case from him. Saying he had no indications that he was there, that he was involved.
We wish young Dolph could have just had stopped somewhere else before he even went to Makita's. We know for a fact that, like, we gonna realize say what the examiner's reports is stating, y'all. Yo Gotti, he claimed the whole thing, man. Yo Gotti claimed that Big Juk is his brother. He claimed that Govan is Big Juk's best friend. Y'all gotta really pay attention to that because Dolph left us too quick, man. I didn't want Dolph to go out like that, man.
R.I.P. Dolph, man. It sound easy what they did, but it's hard because they locked up. They behind them bars now. They up in that slammer. At the end of the day, we can put everybody in perspective and really look at it for what it really is. I know for a fact that once you start getting money, they gon' forget that you, who you really was, man. At the end of the day, man, we know for a fact that you can't brag when you got the bag. You gotta move out the city when you get the bag. I keep telling them that at the end of the day, man, we gotta really open our eyes to the fact that they realized it was too many people took down one person. Why did it take all y'all to take down one person and he ain't even had the blicky on him? His security had the blicky. Like, y'all gotta understand, it could have took 2 people walked up, okay, it's over with that quick. No, straight dropping them still locked up, so therefore, at the end of the day, straight dropping them still ain't get prosecuted for what they did. Y'all gotta understand, Paper Route Woo, he looking at Key Glock like, Key Glock, you some kin to Mia J, and the only reason I ain't touched you, Key Glock, is because of Mia J. Mia J the one that told Dolph to put Key Glock on, and Dolph bought Key Glock that Benz early, when Key Glock was only 19. He was 19 years old, and Dolph bought him a Benz. Next thing you know, all Dolph windows get busted out, all the cars that he invested all his money in. These people keep saying, they looking at the fact that BGE was the main one told Moneybagg, yo, man, prayers to Young Dolph, man. Moneybagg, yo, looked at them like, man, this one ain't gonna never put y'all on, man. This is why y'all will never see and really see no bad. You can't really say that he really, you feel me, he dissed nobody. Like, at the end of the day, Young Dolph, he didn't want to do that song with Yo Gotti. That's what this whole situation is about. Everybody looking at the fact that the feds ain't got the chalkboard with the pictures and the sticky notes. Y'all gotta understand, the sticky notes got the faces on them. They gotta stick the sticky notes on the face in order to even know who to apprehend. These the same people who looking at Young Dolph like, boy, Young Dolph should have just sung Yo Gotti the little verse, and then it would have been all good. No, it wouldn't have been all good. At the end of the day, you can't really say that if Young Dolph didn't rock with Yo Gotti after Yo Gotti showed him that he was trying to finesse him. Like, come on now, he wouldn't start dissing him. That's why I always say, I rock with PRE more than I rock with CMG at the end of the day. But you can't really pick a side. At the end of the day, man, you have to understand what's really going on and open your eyes to the fact that Young Dolph didn't want to sing Yo Gotti that song because he knew Yo Gotti knew he just got in the game, and Yo Gotti wanted to act like that was his song, and he let Young Dolph feature. If you feature on a song, that mean you ain't the one that made it. That mean you ain't the one with the bag. Like, at the end of the day, man, people gotta really pay attention to what's going on, because everybody looked at CEO Daddy O like, man, why didn't you just call a quits? Why didn't you just tell CMG like, man, we gon' get Young Dolph this and he gon' stop it? No, Young Dolph wasn't going. At the end of the day, man, you have to really pay attention to what's going on and really be mindful of the people who they kept around them.
And the only reason that Young Dolph didn't get out of because this happened in his own hood, the sad thing is that even they was trying to prevent him from being successful. When the circumstances presented itself, it caused a domino effect of a chain reaction to the downfall and the demise of the young man, Young Dolph, man. And we want to put the condolences out there, but at the end of the day, the only reason he did not leave out of Memphis was because Daddy-O wanted to stay there. Otherwise, they would have went on, they would have been out with Gucci Man and everything like that. But you know what? Yo Gotti and Gucci Man already bumped heads, and this was just gonna add to it. So he looked at both Young Dolph and everybody else as them stepping on his toes and getting him away. And so when Govan orchestrated and put that hit together, everything was already a rolling ball, man. The snowball effect had basically got it to where it was no control over what Straight Drop and Cornelius was gonna do. One thing that they understood was that they both had one job, and it was to make sure that neither of them get caught for this. And when they did get caught for it, they didn't plan on them going out the way that they did. Once they actually caught up with Shondell and they let him go, they understood that the only way that they was gonna ever see the day of light again was that if they told on Shondell to get him back into custody. That's how they knew who to put on the new newspaper clipping to put the stickers together, because when they ran out of the whole tape and push pins, because this whole case was about to get cold until Big Jook slipped up and they came in and searched the whole entire CMG office and found the paperwork from them sending the payments out to Govan. There's no reason why Govan had $100,000 wired to him at the same time that me and Jay claimed that they put $100K on Dolph's head. The only way that would make sense is if it was actually going on in the streets. And that's why the people out there in Memphis, they already know that down there in Castalia, down there right in front of Makita's across the street, that set that stands there, they understood what was going on. They didn't come outside that day because they was paid to go in and not see nothing. Everybody hid and turned their heads once they seen the King of Memphis was getting rolled up on, and they didn't want to get in the way because they knew that the power behind the people that was sending that, this was coming from a big higher ups. And so what people failed to realize is that Dolph was helping his brother in this situation, and he was giving him a role to play by letting him be the security. But it was at the cost to him, and the real security would have been more prepared in this. And so the fact that his brother froze up, you can't blame him, man. He's never been the type of person to go out there and do that. He did not walk the same path and was cut from the same cloth as young Dolph. You see him and he might look like, you know, the way that he is, but the fact that the only reason why he ran out there after straight dropping them is because he finally put together the whole kit and connection. Once he knew that Dolph was locked in there, the moment that they unlocked the door, he ran out of there because the real danger was inside the store.
I want everybody to know, and this is my opinion, you can go do your own research, you can go look for this, like for yourself, to do further notice. I want you guys to understand, he got too comfortable in his own turf. Once he literally thought that everybody in his hood was just cool just because he was looking out for him, he got too comfortable on his own turf. It's that situation, but we know for a fact they was beefing, so you can't really get mad, but you can also sit there and say, dang, man, dang. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I want you guys to really open y'all eyes to the fact that CMG, they don't like the fact that they caught that Rico because this don't stop all the money flow. Maurice Hill kept telling Pamela Hill, like, man, you already know. By them keep even looking at us like this, man, you know you on TV, man. You better say what I told you to say. And y'all already know he said that just by scrunching his face. Y'all gotta really look at that because Pamela Hill, she was scared, man. When Maurice Hill was sitting right there when Makita Raven was on that news, that's why Makita Raven had the smirk on her face. If a person who always supported y'all and came to y'all shop and he put money in there, work in there, man, like real life, he gave them opportunities to a job with PRE. He asked Makita Raven, did she want to be the secretary to file the paperwork? I want y'all to really look at that, man. That's why he opened the tax place next door. Do y'all know Makita Raven them own that tax place? And then the laundromat on the side, it's only one more store to be taken up now. So at the end of the day, we know Glorilla, she's the main one. She looked at Pamela Hill like, you better talk to Angela Simmons because I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Hey, and young Dolph was locked inside that cookie shop, man. That's why he was over there struggling with the door. He tried to pick the lock, but he had to hit the door handle with a slug. That's when we seen the zoomed in footage of the people who went there the night that everything happened, and they seen that the door handles was riddled with holes in it from the inside. That's because Dolph was trying to get out. Somebody had to crouch from the old drive-through window that used to be on the side of Makita's. When they crouched up on that, they hit him from the side. That's how Dolph got blasted back by the window over there. And then they took the spark plug that had the exact thing that was gonna chip the window out. And so when they threw it at him and they heard the invisible round blast off, it was actually the noise that was being made after that he was already dropped that made it look like the window was freshly getting busted out. When you see the two dudes, remember one thing that they said is that the eyewitness said they were shaking the drakes, but it had no fire coming out of the front nozzle. So what they was doing was a whole charade game, and it was Govan underneath that hoodie trying to act like he wasn't even a part of the whole situation when you know that he's the one with the bold blade. They seen him there under the light, and that's the same shadow as the same person who was running away in California when Dolph got hit in the arm. When he came out of that and got into that Lincoln truck, Moneybagg yanked that BGE chain off of his neck because he didn't want that to be seen in the CCTV camera footage, because it would have shown in 4K that there was a connection between CMG and that chain being there in the same frame as Dolph's arm hanging out the window. That's why they had to wait for the surveillance footage. When Makita's daughter took it all out, she seen that the fact that it was not zoomed in all the way, and when she zoomed it out, that's when you see the Bentley truck for the very first time on January 21st, 33 days after everything happened.
And everybody know, in all actual reality, Young Dolph was the main one. He came there unannounced. Everybody know for a fact that the way Young Dolph walked in there, and this is coming straight from the feds and the DA's office, because from what they're saying, the examiner's reports is stating that the video shows that the C8 car door was open. The passenger door, it was cracked. You have to understand who was in the passenger seat of Young Dolph's C8 Corvette. This is what the feds are stating. And the feds are trying to get down to the bottom of everything that's going on. In all actual reality, we know for a fact Big Juk told Govan, don't you ever in your life come around and you know for a fact that we said we was going to stay away from each other, all because we know for a fact that we know what we just did. That hit went through. That hit, we got it about. We got him up out of there. We don't supposed to talk on no phones. We don't supposed to see each other. Well, you know, if you got an iPhone, depending on if you got an iPhone 11, if you got T-Mobile, Verizon, you could even have cellular link. You have to really pay attention to it. They gonna track the calls, man. They gonna track the calls because it was done in a hit, man. You cannot sit there and be right there pulling up on nobody and thinking that the telephone poles ain't gonna ping it.
And they carried Dolph. When they said that the C8 was open, it was the doors and the trunk. That's why that chrome heart bag was in there, because Dolph had that around his shoulder the whole night before in the restaurant that he took the picture with right before he got whacked, man. And they seen that shoe left in the parking lot. But in the Makita's parking lot, remember, they zoomed in and they was trying to solve why it was leaked. It was somebody who was leaking in the parking spot next to where Dolph parked. That's the reason from that is because when they took Dolph and pulled him out and carried him in, he was already leaking out that trunk. And so when they put him into the cookie shop, then the only thing that they needed to do was find a way who's gonna pull up in the getaway car from Blac Youngsta's sister to bust the window. They got on the line with Gotti, but they used the landline because they know that when the T-Mobile records come out at the Big Moochie Grapes phone call with Young Dolph telling them that he was supposed to pull up and that they just landed, he said he wanted to take a separate flight because he knew about a girl that he wanted to stay with for an extra day. But the thing is that they look back on it and he never booked the Airbnb. When Gotti's dad found out that Govan was hanging out with Big Juk, that's when they kicked him out of the basement, man. And that's within 2 days, the situation happened at Young Dolph, and you see the tow truck driver getting paid, and JoJo Splat was in the passenger seat. That's how he identified whether they was gonna get the C8 or Young Dolph's Lambo. The unit already pulled up. The fact that the dude with the glasses blocked the entrance of Makita's because they did not want them to see everything that was dropped on the ground. When the reports came out that they found Young Dolph's wallet in the bushes and his second iPhone in the dumpster, it was set on fire intentionally, man. And the reason why Makita's Raven brother went on that interview to speak on it was the fact that they tried to clear their name. They paid $180,000, which was twice as much as what that GoFundMe had brought in.
The person who was recording at the gas station, the Shell gas station, if I'm not mistaken. If I got it wrong, y'all let me know in the comment section. I want y'all to know. I wanna bring something to your attention because the feds, they not too happy about this because Makita Raven brother, the same one with the beard that's not shaved, the same one with the beard with the patches, y'all gotta understand. He already said on the video when he didn't want to get too close to the scene because they had that black truck. Y'all know once that white corner truck comes, that black truck coming right behind it. That black truck looked like a Sprinter, but that whole time, that's the evidence van. That's where they put all the evidence in. And we know by that glass being broken and the way that they captured dude, Shadow, instantly they already said Paper Route Wu was supposed to stay low key. He wasn't supposed to be around PRE that long. They said Paper Route Wu, he was with CMG, rocking with the ops. Like at the end of the day, we already know CMG top ops is PRE. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Straight Drop, he was the same one who told Cornelius Smith, man, you better keep your mouth closed because I gotta go home and I still got people to feed. I still got people who care about me. Just because you ain't got, your girl just left you and your girl don't want to answer your phone call, that don't mean you got to snitch because you want to go up, get out of jail so quick just to go see what your girl doing. Come on now, at the end of the day, they fight a serious case. People think that it's a game. You cannot take it for granted. At the end of the day, we know for a fact that Straight Drop was the main one who told PRE Wu, man, you know we really don't rock with y'all, but the money that we getting, y'all already know. Govan, he gonna pay us good. Govan, you already know how Govan do. PRE Wu, he put in plenty of work for that man before this even happened to Dolph.
And it was a quiet morning in the cookie shop until they barged in and dragged young Dolph into the back of it. And instantly PRE Wu grabbed Makita's daughter and ran her up out of there because he closed her eyes because 20 years down the road, he don't want her to tell about what really happened back there, man. And so all the PREs stand up, man, because a lot of people were saying that we are pre and they was doing the anthem a long time ago. So
Snoop Bands was the main one told Paper Route Wu before he even hopped out the car, man, pull your pants up, man, so you won't fall and so you be able to control the drink. Y'all gotta understand, they said the one in the front with the hat on. Y'all gotta understand, the one who had the fisherman hat on. Hey, the Bass Pro Shop said that 3 people walked in, and it was 2 dudes who matched the description of who sent Young Dolph up. Mr. Pierce already said who was there. At the end of the day, that's why Paper Route Wu rushed over there and started doing a turkey drive. And in all actual reality, we know for a fact, the man Snoop Bands, as soon as he walk out, the truck, y'all know the U-Haul that they use, the one that Makita Raven them said they can't park in front of their store. Y'all gotta understand. The man Paper Route Wu say, hey man, fix your hair, man. You said you went to the barber shop. Like at the end of the day, his arms was under the thing. Like at the end of the day, if you at the barber shop, what you gonna do? If the cape over you, you gonna lift the cape up a little bit and you gonna be texting your homie. Say Dolph text you 2 times. From what the reports and the examiner reports is stating when they examined his phone and went through all his unlocked, but y'all gotta understand the apps that he had on his phone. Y'all know them apps, them vault apps. At the end of the day, we know for a fact you can have any number with the vault app. Any number. If they call your phone, it's going straight to the vault. And you just check it as if you had your notifications turned off for your messenger or you had your notifications turned off for your app message. I want y'all to really pay attention to what's going on because in all actual reality, the way that they pulled up in that white car, man, they already knew it was over with. They knew it was over with as soon as they pulled up in that white car, boy. I told y'all, this man literally, he jumped out there, he hopped out the car, he bailed out the car. Next thing you know, Snoop Bands already tried to grab him like, hey man, pull your pants up. He had on the same Jordans that he had on in multiple pictures on Instagram. This is where it come into play of being the dumbest criminals. I want y'all to understand, PRE knew for a fact that CMG, they couldn't get the ups on him unless he let his guard down, man. I want y'all to really pay attention to it because Young Dolph already said out his mouth. He said, man, I gotta watch the people around me, but I don't know who to watch. Snoop Bands already said, like, man, Paper Route Wu, man, we gotta take him up out the box. And this is what literally like they still puzzled by this. And Mia J said, why would Key Glock do it? Why would Key Glock even keep himself distance from them if they didn't do it? Like, I want y'all to really look at this because it's sad that it had to happen to Dolph, but in all actual reality, we know for a fact Dolph put too many people on. And for him to get sent up over an open verse, like at the end of the day, what was your purpose of asking Young Dolph for an open verse? Just so that what was you gonna do with it? You was gonna put it on your album and make it seem like you the one that came up with the song? I want y'all to understand, man. Key Glock already told that man, it ain't gonna go down like that. We gonna do this a whole nother way. That's why when Mia J walked in, she already said, the dudes that was in the white car had the other dude driving, and the dude that was driving was Blac Youngsta people, man. I want y'all to understand that, man. Blac Youngsta, he falling back because he know for a fact that too many people know that he was there. Y'all gotta understand who was in the back seat of that Bentley truck. I want y'all to throw them 111s in the comment section if y'all know who was in the backseat of that Bentley truck. Big Juke ain't pull up there by himself, knowing that it's going down. He pulled up 4D. The truck was fulled up. Y'all gotta understand, man, that's an expensive truck for him to have at a crime scene. And then he still rode around in it every day. That's why Angela Simmons said, y'all moving funny. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be with you, Gotti, but y'all moving funny. This is what goes to show you can't trust the people who has an ulterior motive against your gang. Y'all know for a fact that Young Dolph knew Paper Route was gonna take off. Once Paper Route took off, Young Dolph already knew he was gonna get the camo cars. He knew for a fact that he was gonna have at least 3 Mercedes. He knew he was getting that C8. Like, at the end of the day, I want y'all to pay attention to it, because when Dolph had took off, they already knew it was over with. Because we already know for a fact, the water, man, they in hot water right now, man. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball, man. And I know a lot of people sit there and look at it like, these the same people who basically told them, y'all need to get up in the truck instead of running up out of the truck. You can't run up out the car like that and you knowing other people supposed to run up and get them up out of there. I want y'all to really pay attention to that, man. This is a revolving door. We have to really open our eyes to the fact of what's really going on. They supposed to be instantly telling Dolph, hey man, watch behind you, dog. Next thing you know, Makita Raven them, they people who was working in there at the moment, they didn't even give him a notice. It was no notice. Like, at the end of the day, we have to really look at that, man, because one person, Mia J, she pulled up after everybody cleared it out, after they took the tape down, and y'all know when Maurice was still mopping, she pulled up phone out, and I want to send my condolences out to his family, number one, because I'm just going to give my commentary on the things that's going on. And I really want y'all to understand, man, you can dig deep if you want to and go get the proof from Memphis, because it's out there, man. If you got your ear to the streets, you know for a fact you ain't really got to look too far. I want y'all to understand, man, PRE hasn't been the same since Young Dolph been gone. Too many people sit back there and say, Key Glock, man, you should have dusted off everything that was in there before you even went in there, man. Like, at the end of the day, I want y'all to really pay attention to this, man, because in all actual reality, if we open our eyes, we can understand what's really going on instead of looking at the BS. Like, at the end of the day, man, we know for a fact that it's too many people who didn't root for Dolph, man. They wouldn't root for Dolph, and if they was really on Dolph's side, they wouldn't let Dolph get sent up in their cookie shop. At the end of the day, man, the tax place is right on the side, and we already know for a fact that Maurice was in the laundromat. He put too many clothes up in there, and why would you even try to come back? Like, at the end of the day, why would you try to come back and make yourself look guilty? That's why when they put Marcus Thorne in the handcuffs like that and walked him to the car and his dreads were shaking and he was like, man, y'all gotta really understand, Maurice Hill was all the way back, like past the tax place. You know how when you walk out of Makita's, you gonna open the door, like you gonna look over. Once you look over, once you do close the door, you will be able to see the tax place right here. It's boarded up. It's all boarded up. Like at the end of the day, it's right in the middle of the laundromat in Makita's. I want y'all to really pay attention to this because the perimeter direction of where Maurice walked to, he went in the laundromat, came back out. That's what gave him the dead giveaway. That's why the MPD, they already said, we got to watch him. They said, we got to watch him. They said, Maurice, he had to have something to do with it because his car parked right there in the middle of the crime scene. Like at the end of the day, in all actuality, it's too many people who know for a fact that young Dolph, the cars that he had up there, he had the white car up there, which was Marcus Thorne's car, and it was the C8. Like at the end of the day, Blac Youngsta had the keys, man. Y'all gotta understand that, man. It's sad that Moneybagg Yo even got himself into this because they mistaken Ari truck for Big Jug truck. When whole time Ari and Big Jug got their truck from the same Bentley dealer. Y'all gotta really understand that, man. And just because Ari got the chrome on the side, Big Jug don't got the chrome on the side of the Bentley truck. Y'all gotta really look at that, man. The chrome piece at the bottom is the only thing that Big Jug had on the truck. This is what, like, it identified who truck it was once they did the analysis and the fingerprints came back off the truck. I want y'all to understand, Big Jug know for a fact that if they wouldn't have told all them females what was going down, he would have never got caught. I want y'all to let me know how y'all feel about that, man, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact it's sad that he even had to go through that. Free Big Jug, man. R.I.P. Dolph, man. Like at the end of the day, man, they let Govan out, and he was the one who carried it out. I want y'all to understand that, man. Once Govan walked out that building, his cousin was waiting on him outside. They was already 3 deep, and they had 2 cars behind them because they already knew for a fact that they was going to be on their bumper. CMG got their inside beef going on, and Govan, he trying to stay out of it. Govan trying to fall back because he know for a fact they know he snitched. If he didn't snitch, he would have never got out. They would have never lowered the bond, released everything. I want y'all to really look at that because the people who was on their phone, they had their phones up like this. They was recording everything. Once you got your phone up and it's out and it's recording, it's over with, man. Like at the end of the day, we really got to be mindful of this because we know for a fact young Dolph put a lot of people on. And the people who he put on, half of them didn't even ride. Only Kenny Money was the only one who stepped out there and went sliding for his homie. He said he ain't got to say no words because what's easily said don't need to be explained. Like, I want y'all to really look at that, man, because in all reality, if you from the streets, you know for a fact you can't go out there with your head chopped off like a chicken, man. Like at the end of the day, you know for a fact you got to be equipped with them things on. You got to have them blickies in the car or in the trunk wrapped in the shirt. Like y'all got to understand this, man. Because in all reality, we know for a fact the thumpers that they used, them was the same thumpers that they said they used when they was blowing past Marcus Thorne when he was instantly trying to get up out of Makita's. And then by straight shot even turning around and blowing like this, that gave them an easy dead giveaway because they already said, like, hold on, Marcus Thorne, that's how they was able to get the good shot, the good angle of him even being right there. And this goes to show that a lot of people sit right there and look at it like Marcus Thorne, he was going through the parking lot. He took right off, started blowing. Boom, 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 boom. He blew a couple times, man. Next thing you know, they answered, they got up out of there. Like at the end of the day, man, once they pulled off, Marcus Thorne already knew it was over with because he had to run back in there to his brother. In all actuality, we know for a fact that too many people who get took it down, all because they in their phone. They in their phone. They said Dolph was in his phone. This is coming from Makita Raven, quote unquote. I want y'all to really understand this, man, because in all actuality, we know for a fact that it's sad that this had to happen, but young Dolph, I wish young Dolph would have moved up out that hood, man. He should have never been standing around the hood knowing that half of them in the hood don't like him. Now, I'm going to take a moment of silence just to get that across, man. Young Dolph had too many people in his corner, man. And there's no way he got sent up at his untimely demise without even knowing that this was finna happen. Like, y'all gotta understand, he thought he was shooting a music video. Snoop Bands, his hair wasn't even cut, so where was you at, buddy? And word around Memphis, they looking for Big Moochie Grape. Y'all gotta understand, Castelia, that's where Young Dolph used to reside, and a lot of people know for a fact that Big Moochie Grape, he not finna be about that life if his own people looking for him. Like, at the end of the day, man, in all actual reality, we can really look at it for what it is. Like, we already know for a fact that MPD, they ain't playing no games, and once the feds jumped in and they got Govan and they got Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, and Big Jook, it was over with, because Blac Youngsta already said that Moneybagg, yo, he implemented himself up out of it, all because of one thing. He didn't want to go down, and we already know for a fact he didn't want to go down for what happened to Dolph, because all of diss songs, they use Gotti music, all them diss songs he made over them years. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All them, y'all know what I'm talking about. All them songs that he made, they already used it against Big Jook. So this is a sad situation that had to happen, but we know for a fact that a lot of people, they don't want this to really go down the wrong route, because Big Jook, he didn't deserve to get snatched up like that without a bond, and Big Jook, he couldn't get out. So y'all know for a fact, if you can't get out, that means somebody told. If somebody already out, everybody locked up but Govan. Everybody locked up but Govan. I'ma just let that soak in. How do y'all feel about Govan not really doing what he said he was gonna do? That he knew anything that was about to occur or happen or anything? You see the type of people that we are? We the type of people that look at it and be like, you know what? He ain't used no common sense when he went and took that money. That's why Govan in the situation he in. And Big Jook, he didn't even want no money for it. He passed the money down. He gave Gotti $20K, and Gotti put up another $20K, and then they carried it out, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. Everything that was dished out, it went to the right people. And they did that to Dolph, man. RP Dolph, man, because I wish he was still here. I wish he would still survive it, just like he survived the Carolina incident. When y'all already know when they were shooting in Carolina and Blac Youngsta got locked up. Gotti just did a show. I want y'all to really look at that, man, because they wanted to take young Dolph out then. Young Dolph was supposed to have been gone then. They was already tired of him. Jay-Z already said he keeping himself away from Gotti. Gotti can't come to none of his parties, y'all. Y'all gotta understand that, man. And by them keeping their distance, it makes it to where once Jigga get done in the studio, Jigga leave 20 minutes to an hour before Gotti even get there. This goes to show he don't want to be around that, and especially while they hot. You don't want to be around your homies while they hot. You know if your homies hot, you finna fall back from them, man. You know you're not even finna go out there and stick your head out there. And in all actual reality, we know for a fact the cookie shop, that footage shows Gotti brother across the street. In all actual reality, man, we really gotta pay attention to that, because a lot of people sat back and thought it was a game. They thought it was a game, and then they came and picked them up. You gotta understand, they ran Big Jook plates before they even put him in the car. Y'all know how it is. If you riding around with tinted windows and you got 4 dudes in the car and the tint ain't 5% tint, it's you got all them other percentage of tint, y'all know for a fact you gonna instantly see shadows in the car, 4 shadows. That's why they pulled them over. Too many shadows in the car. You gotta have the windows down, bird's eye view. Like, at the end of the day, that's why Big Jook got into the situation he in. And a lot of people, they already looking at the blue surgical mask that he had on with them gloves. Like, y'all gotta understand, Big Jook was ready to hop out and run down. Big Jook, he knew what he was doing, man. That's why a lot of people sit there and say Big Jook was the main one who could have basically avoided all this from happening. or he could have basically stopped it because he was the one with the walkie-talkie in his hand, and he had his other iPhone in his other hand. He talking to Moneybagg Yo on FaceTime, and he instantly to everybody who in there with them gloves and them hoodies. Y'all gotta really pay attention to that because it's sad, but in all actual reality, this could have happened to Yo Gotti. And Yo Gotti, I got a message for you. You already know, man. Yo Gotti, you could have easily just called it off, man. You could have called it off before it got too deep, man. You know you could have called it off. They put that man in the mix. They put that man in the mix, man. And in all actual reality, we know for a fact, once you get put in the mix, it's over with. It's over with. Y'all already know that. That's why people walking around pulling their shirt up over their face like they got a mask, imitating what Straight Drop did. I want y'all to really understand what's really going on because in all actual reality, ain't no cuts in this, man. They was cut though when they did that to Dolph, man. A lot of people sit back and look at it and don't really take it for what it is, but in all actual reality, like if you from the streets, you already know they tweaked because they got caught a year and a half later, almost 2 years. Was it worth that? And then your brother locked up, so they got y'all on the radar. They got the old girl who had the bonnet on. She was the main one with the yoga pants who they kept on saying, you gotta watch her. You gotta watch her. She was the main one opening doors for all the people in SimG. And you know for a fact that BGE, they know they ain't rocking with PRE, regardless of what's going on. But I rock with PRE, and I'ma stay rocking with PRE. At the end of the day, we know for a fact it's too many people who got caught up in the middle of this, man. Y'all know for a fact that you can go out there, hop right in your car, instantly run into your ops, man. Like at the end of the day, this is why Young Dolph sat back and said, man, bruh, I ain't trusting everybody, bruh. I'm gonna go to where I gotta go and come right back. This is why he was moving the way that he was moving, and people didn't understand the way that Young Dolph was moving. Young Dolph was moving the way that he was moving. He knew for a fact Govan he knew Govan and them didn't like him, man. When he was on that stage with Yo Gotti, he already knew at some point in time they was gonna have to see each other again. And this is why the feds is really looking into this really deep, because they saying like, hold on, they been beefing for these many years, and Yo Gotti, he been signing these artists, and then once he signed Blac Youngsta, that happened in Charlotte, all these incidents occurring. I want y'all to really pay attention, because when the feds come, they got a 99% conviction rate. You can't be out there reckless, man, acting crazy, man. You gotta really do what you say you gonna do, man. If you gonna slide on the ops, slide on the ops. If you gonna be in the house, be in the house, man. Like at the end of the day, man, you know what you doing, man. Yo Gotti and them know what they did. Big Jook, and I'm gonna take a moment of silence, man, because I know Big Jook locked up right now. Big Jook got the paperwork off the door, man. They already said Big Jook, once he walked out, he already got the paperwork that they was investigating. Y'all gotta understand, man, it was a CI up in their camp who basically told. And this is why Govan got out, man. This is why they speculating, thinking that Govan was the one that did it, when Govan was the one who basically he pushed for a lower bond. Just like anybody else would do it. Just because he got out there don't mean he snitched. But at the end of the day, we know how it is now. A lot of people snitching and ain't getting violated for it, man. Like at the end of the day, they already said in Memphis, you snitch on anybody in Memphis, especially if they in PRE, BGE, or CMG, if I'm not mistaken. They say they gonna get down on you. They said they gonna run down on you. You gotta move out the city. And they gonna make you pack your bunk. Like, a lot of people be ducking their taco, knowing whole time that they real life and ain't about that life. And In all actual reality, we know for a fact that it's too many people who sit back and they could have easily settled it a whole different way. If they would have settled it a different way, Young Dolph would have never got sunk up because of an open verse. Like at the end of the day, we already know this, and people sit back, they tweaking. They tweak, like for real. The way that Gotti opened the doors for 42 Dugg, it goes to show that 42 Dugg, once he do finally get out, they already said Moneybagg already exposed him and dropped the load. That's why the feds came and got 42 Dugg for the stuff he was doing in his hometown. They said Moneybagg was the one who opened his mouth, and I know a lot of people say like, man, that's Memphis business. That's Memphis business. I understand that, but you gotta understand what goes on in Memphis stays in Memphis. So we all gotta really pay attention to that, man. This is something that we all can really look at and really put a finger on and be like, why would Moneybagg even put himself in that predicament to tell on his homie? Because when the pressure come, the pipes bust. Ooh, that's deep. When that pressure on, man, is over with, man, y'all already know for a fact that CMG, they not gonna be the same when they take the head, which is Gotti. Big Jook already gone, that was the assistant. I want y'all to really look at that, man, because it's no way they blocked off the back of his car and then hopped out the car and ran all the way around there. No, they said they already was blowing from on the inside, and from what they already said in Memphis, they said that Houston speaking right now. They said Houston, they coming out, and they coming out with them facts, y'all. I want y'all to throw in the comment section where y'all from, man. I want to know where my subscribers from if y'all been on the channel. Like at the end of the day, if you're new to the channel, man, welcome to the channel, man. I want y'all to really look at that, because from what they saying, and this is sad, and in all actual reality, we know how the street works, so we can't be mad about it. They said they sent shots from inside the cookie shop. That's how Dolph ended up like this, with the arm out the window. You see, if somebody was inside of this podcast that I'm sitting in the podcast right now. Somebody was inside this podcast. Now this podcast having windows. If they was to instantly, I instantly fall back and my arm go out the window, and whatever's in my way, it'll instantly knock it out the way, like push it across the room. That's why they said one of Young Dolph's shoes was over there by the counter. And I want y'all to understand, Young Dolph didn't wear the same shoes over and over again. No. He had on the same clothes for like 3 days, man. Y'all gotta pay attention. He saw them when he was at that gas station, man. It said it had to happen, man, but in all actual reality, man, we live right now. By us being live right now, we know for a fact that everybody who sat there and saw Young Dolph phone over there under that chair, once Raven them grabbed that phone, y'all already knew what it was. It was over with, because he don't have his phones locked, because he ain't got nothing to hide. Young Dolph, all the stuff he had in his phone, they instantly. You feel me? They got the codes to all his safes and everything, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. That's where he get all his Apple Pay, everything, man. It's sad, man. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact, Raven them got that phone. It was over with from there, because they saw what they needed to see. They deleted what they needed to delete. It's no traces to Makita Raven them even saying that he can shoot that music video in there. And what's so ironic, Jeremy, he already said Makita Raven, she deleted the stuff out of the phone from the day that it actually, like, y'all gotta understand, the day that he went up there and he was promoting their cookies in that white truck, she deleted everything up out of the phone. Even from that day, this what goes to show they tampered with his phone.